A fruit bowl at the salad bar is full of apples and oranges. After 8 apples are eaten, 2 oranges remain for each apple. Then 12 oranges are eaten, and 2 apples remain for each orange. How many apples were in the bowl before any were eaten? We're going to solve this problem algebraically, and you have the question right here. It's in a smaller font, but I hope you can still read the question, the main question that was on the previous slide. And when we solve something algebraically, we have to define our variables. And we are going to say originally the bowl had A apples and B oranges. That's how we're going to define our variables. Now, what happens? Originally, we had A apples and B oranges. We put it here. Then somebody came and ate 8 apples. So then we had A minus 8 apples. And number of oranges didn't change, so we still had B oranges. Then what happens? This refers to the second set of numbers. This original one is the first set of numbers. This is the second set of numbers, and here we have the third set of numbers. So what do we have under the third set of numbers? The number of apples didn't change the third time around, but number of oranges did, and after 12 oranges were eaten, we had only B minus 12 oranges in the bowl. So originally we had A apples and B oranges. Then in the middle, or the second time around, we had A minus 8 apples and B oranges. And the third time around, or at the final stage, we had A minus 8 apples and B minus 12 oranges. It's an important thing to understand. You want to pause the video, and at this point in time, you want to understand how we got these numbers on the table. You really want to get that. Once you get that, we'll try to come up with our equations, which is also a very important step. So this part of the question, after 8 apples are eaten, 2 oranges remain for each apple. That means if you take the number of apples, multiply it by 2, you're going to get the number of oranges. Now this is the scenario after 8 apples were eaten. And the question says there were 2 oranges for every single apple. So I write 2 times the number of apples is equal to number of oranges. 2 times the number of apples, which is A minus 8, is equal to the number of oranges, which is B. So this follows from the underlined statement and this red box. This equation follows from there. And we're going to do the same thing with this statement. 12 oranges are eaten. After 12 oranges are eaten, 2 apples remain for each orange. Now we are in this box. After 12 oranges were eaten, we had A minus 8 apples and B minus 12 oranges. And since at this point in time there were 2 apples for every 1 orange, I'm going to write the number of apples is equal to 2 times the number of oranges. These two are very important steps. You want to make sure how the question and the table give us these 2 equations. So now we need to solve our 2 equations that we had on the previous slide. These are the 2 equations we need to solve, and you solve them the way you want. I'm going to show you how I would solve it. So from equation 2, I'm going to take equation 2, which is A minus 8 is equal to 2 times B minus 12. I'm going to bring 8 on this side. We distribute 2 over B minus 12. I get 2B minus 24. And then 2b minus 24 plus 8 is 2b minus 16. So A is equal to 2b minus 16. I'm going to call this my equation 3. Okay. Now what I have here is 2 times A minus 8 is equal to B is the first equation. I'm going to put back the value of B that I got and I called that equation 3. So this is, I got a is equal to 2b minus 16. This is coming from equation 3. I'm going to put it right here and do my algebra. Here I get 2b minus 24. Distribute 2 over 2b minus 24. You get 4b minus 48 is equal to b. You come here. You get 4b minus b is equal to 48. Then 4b minus b is 3b. You divide both sides by 3. You get 16. So b is 16. All I need to do, b is the number of oranges, and I need to find the number of apples, so I need to replace b with 16 in one of the equations and solve for a. So if b is 16, I know from above a is equal to 2b minus 16. If b is 16, I get 32 minus 16 here, which happens to be 16. So the total number of apples the bowl had originally was 16. That's my answer.